Hello and welcome once again to our daily Africa Cup of Nations show on France 24. Well, the semi-finals are done and dusted, and now we wait in anticipation of a gargantuan final clash between Senegal and Egypt. Here to look over the last 2 days, as well as a build-up to tomorrow's bronze medal match between third and fourth placed, I'm joined once again by the sensational journalist from Eurosport, Ruben Slagter. Ruben, thanks again for coming.
Always a pleasure, Sean. Thank you.
Well, if you missed the action yesterday evening, it's worth a reminder that hosts Cameroon were knocked out at the hands and expense of Carlos Queiroz's Egypt in their AFCON semi-final, meaning no sixth title on the cards for the Indomitable Lions. But a record-extending 8th trophy is still there and available for the Pharaohs, who play Senegal in the final on Sunday. In the game itself, Cameroon missed 2 crucial spot kicks in the penalty shootout after a Douala goalless 120 minutes. And now the country's fans are calling for the head coach, Toni Conceiçao, to face the music.
We simply think that there was bad management of the team. It's now time to say that in Cameroon, we must learn to do what they do in Senegal. That is to say, to trust the former glories of football. When I see what Aliou Cissé is doing in Senegal, when I see that the coach of Burkina Faso is Burkinabe, I regret the fact that we trust useless Western coaches, because the defeat of Cameroon at the moment is totally the responsibility of the coach, who did not understand what to do.
Cameroon did not prepare for extra time. If you saw the pace of the game, you could see that we were going to go to overtime, and that's where the coach of Cameroon did not understand. Conceiçao is not a coach. He has to go to jail first before returning to his country.
Ruben, some real stark comments there. But where can we point the finger? Who takes the blame here?
Well, yeah, there is some blame on Conceiçao, that's for sure. I don't know if he has to go in jail, though. That's maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, I have to agree with what they are saying. Like, they didn't seem prepared to play extra time, and that's crazy against an Egyptian team that already have played twice in extra time, so they were more tired, you would say. So yeah, there was an issue, but you can. It's not only the fault of the manager, of course. I mean, the players, they didn't deliver. The first half was still okay, but then it got worse and worse, and yeah, we have now heard today also there are some issues between them, which is also the responsibility of a coach to make a team out of all those individuals. But yeah, it's clear that they now are pointing at other coaches. At the same time, we have to say that the coach of Egypt is also from a Western country, so I don't know if that's the whole solution, but it's clear that there is no real it's not a match made in heaven between Cameroon and Antonio Conceiçao.
Of course, we heard the problems in the camp. We heard an interview with Vincent Aboubakar straight after the game, in fact, basically pointing out the fact that it was a team of individuals not looking to play as a team. Quite a fervent admonition, basically.
Yeah, and it's disappointing, especially from a captain, to say that. You should never say that, in my opinion. But it's also interesting because it means, I mean, this was the first real test for them, with all the respect we have for Comoros and for the Gambia, but this was a real opponent, and now they lost straight away. And yeah, it was also clear that with the time it got worse and worse. So yeah, and when you hear then their star player, their captain, saying those words, it's clear that there are issues in the dressing room right now.
Oh, we'll see if they can be ironed out. Of course, for all the woes that Cameroon faced, it was the fans of the Pharaohs, Egypt, who sang the night away. Now, having seen their team conquer not only the Ivory Coast in the last 16, then the mightily impressive Morocco 2-1 in the quarterfinals, but now hosts Cameroon, with all of those teams considered giants of the continent. Supporters have been gushing not only over Mohamed Salah and the team, but over coach Carlos Queiroz himself.
Congratulations to Egypt. Our team was great today. Honestly, I think the referee was tough on us today, but we made it through. And so much of what's good about the coach really showed in this match. He was able to prove to Egyptians that he's capable of leading the team.
Again, we hear in that soundbite, so much of what was good about the coach came through. Is he referring to when Coach Queiroz was sent off? Is that his identity coming through on the team? Or what is he bringing to this Egypt team, and is it sustainable?
Yeah, it's a little bit sad to say that a red card for a coach was probably the most exciting part of the game, but okay, that's another story. What's impressive about Queiroz is that he is just a fighter and a winner. He's just looking for one thing, and that's to win those games. You cannot say that Egypt played very well yesterday. What they did well is to prevent Cameroon from playing, and they were just getting better with every minute. You felt just that they were going to win it. Maybe not in extra time, but even with those penalties, they were way better prepared. And that's the quality of a coach. It was also the win of Queiroz against Conceiçao, it has to be said. So he deserves credits for it. At the same time, there's now still nothing won. There's a final to come against the odds-on favorite. So we'll see if he can manage to pull out another miracle, because we have to say winning three games against three top countries, especially Ivory Coast, which were for me the best team we've seen in the group stages. You also have to say that Carlos Queiroz is doing a great job with maybe not the best team in this tournament.
So that defense they're holding strong, and that's really his identity coming through.
Yeah, he knows what the qualities of this team are, and it's as easy as that. They have Mohamed Salah, who can decide a match every moment. If it goes to penalties, they know that they are better in it than probably all of the other teams. So they're really confident in how they play. It's really hard to disturb them, and that's also part of a physical but also mental preparation, because if you play twice extra time and then you're still that fresh to be even fresher, in my opinion, than Cameroon in that extra time, it means that he is just doing a good job, and you have to give him credit for that.
Well, who knows? Maybe it will be fitness in the end that brings them a trophy again. Well, the game yesterday was played on an extremely sluggish pitch, and that could be a reason for the way the game unfolded. France 24 Sports editor Simon Harding managed to get a question in with Dr. Patrice Motsepe, CAF president, at a press conference in Yaoundé on the state of the grounds at the Olembe Stadium. This is what Motsepe had to say.
And let me say something else. I'm not so happy with the pitch at Olembe. We can do better. And I'm given all sorts of explanations. It's fine. But the traffic, people, the transport, the security, the ease of entry, the seat where you sit, the view. You can't buy cool drink or you can't buy refreshments.
Very quickly, Ruben, it's been discussed a lot, the state of the pitches. Another thing for CAF to basically iron out and improve on for the next tournament.
Yeah, well, he is saying a lot, and he is also saying nothing at the same time, because it was the same CAF that went in October to Cameroon to inspect all the pitches, and then it was all okay. So, yeah, there have to be some real investigations about what happened. It seems, and well, it's all what I've read, that it is a fully natural pitch, which is quite of a risk these days. I mean, all the big stadiums, and we have to consider Olembe also as one of the biggest stadiums in Africa and even the world, are having those hybrid pitches, which is 5% natural, and the rest is just natural grass, which is way better for the consistency and the resistance of a pitch. But it's also really expensive, and they didn't decide to take a hybrid pitch in this stadium, and okay, they're now paying the price, because it's sad to see a pitch which is still the first thing you see in a stadium, which is so important for the image of a stadium, so bad as it was yesterday, which also didn't help to have a good game.
Oh, let's see if the final will be any better. It's a colossal investment for a country, but for residents, hosting the African Cup of Nations can mean a significant boost in trade. From street sellers to travel promoters, James Vecina, Cedric Ferreira and Ellen Gainsford went to meet the Cameroonians who've linked business creativity to football fandom.
From the outside, it looks like just any other shop tucked into a back street of Douala. But these are the headquarters of Russell's latest business venture. As excitement grew ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations, he printed 3,000 T-shirts to support Cameroon's Indomitable Lions and sells them directly to customers from all over the country.
Police officers, local governors, young people. I never thought such a wide audience would buy my products. Today I'm convinced that AFCON has benefited all entrepreneurs.
A thriving business. Markets scattered across the city offer everything from face paint to hats and vuvuzelas.
I normally sell face masks, but thanks to the tournament, we have a much better income.
Someone buys a hat, and later they come back for more, like for a scarf or a bandana.
A chance for the business-minded as ordinary Cameroonians seek to make a profit from their country's turn to host the tournament. And while the T-shirts and the merchandise might be the most visible side of this opportunity, well, entrepreneurs from a range of sectors are adapting their daily activities.
With games taking place in 5 of Cameroon's 10 regions, tourism professionals want to show what the country has to offer.
We've been promoting our strong heritage linked to more than 234 ethnicities in our country. We'd love to see more people come back to Cameroon, not just for the football, but to enjoy a meal of eru or sangar.
Former Cameroon international turned restaurant owner Eugène Nikeke set up a giant TV screen to encourage people to watch the games together.
We have made this fan zone just for the pleasure. The more important for me is to share the emotions.
Above all, a strong sense of pride reigning across the country.
Well, a strong sense of pride there, Ruben, but unfortunately for many of those entrepreneurs and fans, Cameroon is now out. But they do play against Burkina Faso tomorrow. What kind of incentive for a third, fourth place playoff can those players now possibly have? How do you pick your heads up?
We'll see. It's an interesting game because of that. Because Cameroon, we don't know how they will react to what happened yesterday. And also, it's for them, it's also some kind of a transition match towards those playoffs for the World Cup. They will play against Algeria, and that's for them a huge, huge matchup. So are we going to see already some changes towards that game? For Burkina Faso, they have had a fantastic tournament, and for them to become third would just be the icing on the cake. I think that what Kamou Malo already said, they are so happy to be in the semi. So let's just hope for an open game with a lot of chances, a lot of goals, and a lot of joy as well, because that's the way how it should end.
Of course, he said anything other than this is a bonus prior to the semi-finals, but certainly third place, it's something to play for.
Yeah, well, we heard already those fans from Cameroon talking about him as a manager. If they could win it, I think it's way more interesting for Burkina Faso, way more important to win the game. I think that it would give them a boost. At the same time, Cameroon, yeah, well, it will be just really interesting who will play tomorrow. Will Antonio Conceiçao still be there? Probably he will. But how will they react to all what happened? And if we are hopefully going to see again a great match, because for Cameroon to get out on a 0-0 and penalties, that would be a little bit sad.
It would be indeed, but we do hope for a spectacle nonetheless. That brings us to the end of the show for this evening. Thanks again to Simon Harding and James Vecina from Cameroon, and to Ruben in the studio. Thanks once again. And thank you for watching. We'll be back on Saturday, same time, from Paris and Yaoundé, going over the results of that bronze medal match, as well as bringing you a preview of that huge final showdown between Egypt and Senegal. Until then, stay tuned for more news on France 24.